Guys, welcome back to Southern Extreme TV. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on my channel. I've got an awesome product review for you guys today. It is the DNT TNC225 LRF thermal, daytime, and night vision scope. So thanks for hanging out with me on my channel, and you heard me right. This is a optic from DNT that is a thermal, it's a daytime unit, and it is a night vision optic as well as a LRF. So that is a daggum mouthful to try to fit into this optic. And I know you guys are probably seeing this shotgun from the secondary angle and why it's mounted on here, and it's because I've been out kind of just playing around with this thing, really trying to figure out where I think that it could kind of fit into a niche, and I want to talk about it. So let's talk first about what all you get in this box. So you get a cleaning cloth, an instruction manual, you get a charging cable. Get this eyepiece out. You do get an eyepiece that goes with it if that's something you're interested in, and then you get an 18650 battery, two of those with a charger. And right now I've got them in the house charging. So really excited about this optic, mainly because of a multitude of different reasons, and let's talk about those. The price point, number one, because for those of you that are the OG followers, back in the day, you've been following Southern Extreme TV for a very long time. I started out trying to gear towards budget-friendly stuff, and this fits the bill for that. This is a thermal optic. It's a 225 resolution with a 25mm objective lens. That is $1,000. A thermal, that's right, a thermal scope with an LRF that you can use in the daytime and that you can use at nighttime for $1,000. I think it MSRPs for like $1,099, so $1,100 if you want to be super technical. But this thing is feature packed. It is really, really cool. It is super compact, which if you are keeping up with the thermal industry, we are starting to get, it seems like everything's starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger and more expensive and more expensive and more expensive. So it's nice for somebody to kind of take a step back from that and say, okay, how can we make this package smaller? How can we put more features into that package while also reducing the actual footprint of the optic that we're putting on a firearm? And they were able to do that in this scope. It is really cool because you do have a picture-in-picture feature that allows you to either do full thermal, so you can do the thermal as your main, thermal in your PIP, or it will allow you to do thermal in your main and then your daytime digital vision in your PIP, or vice versa. Do your daytime digital feed as your main reticle, and then in your PIP, let that be thermal. And where I think that can really benefit some people is people who may be hunting some thicker cover. And I want to talk about not just the predator hunting side of things, because I feel like we get lost when we start hearing night vision and digital, daytime, and thermal, that people just automatically swap over to predator hunting, where I would say that 90% of that's probably true. However, there is the ability that if you were to take this optic and put it, say, on a crossbow, or you were to put it on your deer hunting rifle, and you're hunting some thick stuff, and maybe you see that big buck walking through a thicket, having that PIP set up as the thermal can sometimes help you track that animal through that thicker cover. And what that allows you to do is, so many times if you're in a situation where a deer or an animal that you're hunting in the daytime, you see them walk through a shooting lane and all of a sudden they disappear, and then the next thing you know, they're in your next shooting lane and they're already out of it before you can get them stopped. Well, there's bits and pieces of that animal that you're going to be able to see with the thermal, because they can't hide from the thermal. And what that allows you to do is it would allow you to track that animal. That way you know, hey, he's getting ready to step out into this next shooting lane. As soon as he starts getting ready to step out, you can whistle, you bat him, whatever you want to do, and then that animal gets stopped right in that shooting lane where you could take your shot. Obviously, nighttime hunting for deer, not ethical, not legal, but it doesn't say that just because you have a thermal or you have the ability to run a thermal doesn't mean that you can't use it deer hunting, or that you can't use it in the daytime. But it also gives you the ability to go out predator hunting at night, which is what I think is so cool about this optic. For $1,000, you can check off pretty much all the boxes for a scope. You can use it in the daytime, you can use it at nighttime, you can use it as a thermal, and it's small, it's compact, and it's affordable. So let's talk about the resolution, because I know that as soon as I said that this was a 225 resolution, a lot of people just turned their nose up and kind of went away. Again, we are not talking about a $6,000 thermal optic. So we're not talking about a 640 resolution, because a very, very high-end 640 resolution scope is going to cost probably mid $55,000 to $6,000. If you look at like the Knockpix Ace, if you look at the RH50R from IRA, if you look at the Pulsar XG LRFs, every one of them is around that $5,000 to $6,000 price point. And I want you guys to remember that you're getting an LRF with this DNT optic. You're getting a 225 resolution, which again, for what you're probably going to be using this optic for, is more than sufficient. You're not going to be taking shots with this thermal beyond 400 and 500 yards. This is designed so that you can pick up an animal, ID an animal, and get that animal into close range to where you can then start taking shots around that 250 and in mark. But again, that's what you're getting at that price point, because not everybody needs, or not everybody really wants to have the ability to go out there and shoot a thermal optic at a very long distance. Some people don't even have a need for that. Some people, maybe your farthest shot's 100 to 150 yards. If that's the case, why do you need to spend $6,000 or $7,000 on a thermal optic? I mean, yeah, they're cool, they're clear, but at the end of the day, if you can kill them with this, why not save those $4,000 or $5,000, and maybe you got a happy wife, and who knows what else you get. But I'm really excited about this, just because I think that this is where the market is starting to trend towards. I think people are starting to realize that not everybody is going to be going out spending $5,000 and $6,000. And that's why I was excited for this one, because this is a very budget-friendly scope. It's a very budget-friendly optic that has so many features going into it that it just fits the bill for everybody. So obviously you guys see it mounted here on this 1187 shotgun, and I want to talk about why it's mounted on this shotgun. I have been searching and searching and searching for a very, very long time for a thermal optic that just fits the bill to be put on a shotgun. It's something that you don't see hardly any on YouTube. You don't see a lot of it in the marketing industry for thermal optics, but it's something that I've been trying to find for a very long period of time, because where we live in a very non-field positive area. We have a lot of thick pines, we have a lot of thicker hardwoods, we've got a lot of thickets up next to cutovers, and what this would allow somebody to do is, if you live in those type of areas where you could mount this type of thermal onto a shotgun, you could use this optic for turkey hunting, you could use this optic for deer hunting, you could use this optic for predator hunting. And not only could you do all of those with one gun, but you could do it all with one scope, with one optic as well. So in theory, with one package, you could deer hunt, turkey hunt, and predator hunt, and you check off all the boxes of daytime and nighttime abilities. This is, without a doubt, the best optic thermal wise that I have utilized on a shotgun. We've tried it a multitude of times. We have not done it, I guess, aggressively enough to where I have legitimate footage that I can show you guys of us calling in coyotes and killing them in thickets with a thermal. However, we've only done it 1 or 2 times. But it's a concept that I've created in my mind of being able to have a thermal mounted onto a shotgun to where you could get into places and hunt coyotes in different areas that a lot of other people are overlooking. And I think that the niche behind this is just that this optic is so versatile to be able to use on a wide range of different firearms, that it gives you that ability to test it out and to try it, on top of the fact that it's only $1,000. So you're not investing $5,000, $6,000 into an optic that you may or may not be able to use all the time for every season. Well, as with this one right here, you arguably could use it all the time for all the seasons, depending on how you want to look at it. So I really am excited about this optic, and I'm really impressed with it. Number two, with the clarity. The clarity behind the 225 I was a little nervous about, just like the bunch of you guys probably are if you've been researching thermals. But again, for what this optic is doing and what all it is giving you, it is fantastic. I want to outline that because it is a small package that is priced right, that has a lot of features in it, that arguably has more features than any of the other optics that I've ever ran out there on the market. You've got ballistic calculators, you've got the LRF, you've got day mode, you've got night mode, you've got a built-in IR light, and you've got thermal, and you can do all that in a package that's arguably half the size of some of our other thermals that we've got out there on the market. I think they hit a home run with this thing. If you guys are in the market and you are looking for a do-it-all type of optic, maybe you don't want to spend $5,000–6,000 on a thermal, maybe you want to spend $1,000 just to go take it out, test it out, and then also have the ability to use it in other seasons justifiably, then go over to Southern Precision Outdoors, take a look at what they got. There should be an affiliate link down below to where you can go over to their website and take a look at all of the different stuff that DNT offers through SPO. Super great guys. Use code SETV at checkout, and they'll be sure to take care of y'all. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Hopefully I answered as many questions as I could, because this is a lot to go over in one scope. But if you're on the hump, I guess, of making a thermal purchase or a night vision purchase, maybe take a look at this one that gives you that lower resolution thermal, but then still gives you that daytime and nighttime optic capability, because I think you guys are going to be really, really impressed with it. So if there's any questions I didn't answer, drop a comment down below. I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Means the world that you guys are hanging out with me on my channel. If you are new to Southern Extreme TV, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next episode.